What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Fireside Giants. I'm your host, Anthony Rivardo. Today, keeping it simple, just diving into the film on Daniel Jones's Week 1 performance. Now, let's rip the Band-Aid off. We all know it was ugly. It wasn't a good performance from Jones at all. It was one that really scared the fan base. Week 1 and everything is doom and gloom. I want to go ahead and dive into the film. I'm going to look at some good plays and some bad plays. I want to be as objective as I can. Highlight, where things went wrong, but also where things went right and how he can maybe take some of those, positively take those plays away and build on them going forward throughout the rest of the season, because it was only Week 1 and there are 16 weeks left in the season. And who knows? Maybe he turns it around, maybe he doesn't, but I know you guys are all eager to see some of the all 22 clips and watch me break down some of these plays. So let's waste no more time. I've got about 5 or 6 plays here. Let's go ahead and dive in. All right, so I want to dive into this first play. Like I said, 5 or 6 plays, but on this one, you're going to see Daniel Jones have time in the pocket, open receivers, and take a sack. And if you watch yesterday's episode, we discussed how the pressure wasn't so bad. The offensive line played well in many regards in Week 1, but still Daniel Jones ended up applying a lot of pressure to himself and ended up taking far more sacks than he should have. Let's take a look at this play and see what happened, because like I said, you've got motion on the backside. You've got an extra blocker there with the tight end because of that motion, and you have open receivers downfield with plenty of time in the pocket. Ball never comes out. Daniel Jones pretty much just runs headfirst into a sack. So if we take a look at the play design here, what are the New York Giants trying to set up? Well, they're actually facing a cover 4 defense, which is really hard to hit a shot play on. And unfortunately, the Giants do have a shot play dialed up here. So they're going to bring this tight end in motion, have him block. That's going to create an extra blocker here. So you're blocking 7. You've got an entire wall protecting Daniel Jones. Play action. And this is actually the route that breaks most open here, because when you've got a defense playing cover 4, you've got all these defensive backs dropping, right? That's going to leave you vulnerable. These linebackers or safeties, whoever's playing these positions, they've got to bust their ass to get over to the sidelines and into the flats and really just guard those flat routes that might be ran here. And that's why when you look at the play design, so you've got obviously these deep choice routes. This can be a go, this can be a curl, but when you're facing cover 4, it's going to end up being a deep hook route. You sit down in the middle of those zones and you try and create an opening for your quarterback. And like I said, those flat routes are going to be open here. So after this play action fake, this running back is going to run out into the flats. And the read here is high to low. So meaning Daniel Jones, when the play begins, is going to look deep, see where these safeties are in conjunction with where his receivers are going. If they are covering that, if they're biting down on that, then you know immediately, throw it out into the flats. Someone is going to be open in the flats. And as you watch this play roll here, tight end comes across, play action. Let's pause it right here. Let's see what Daniel Jones should be looking at. What does he see? Well, he sees double coverage, and he sees double coverage, arguably even triple coverage. Now, I do think that there might be a window for him to layer this one in here. If he wants to get this ball over this linebacker and throw this thing to his top receiver here, maybe try and, put some loft on it. Obviously, you have to worry about Harrison Smith or this defensive back breaking down on it, but you can probably fit that in there. Now, here's the key. Like I said, those flats are going to be open, and they are open. You've got the running back leaking out into the flat. You see this, you see double team, First thing you do, dump it out into the flat. This ball should be out probably right now, if not just a second later. I'd say right here, when he decides to step up in the pocket is when he should have decided to dump that thing out into the flat. Now, the other thing to keep note of here, he's stepping up into this pocket, runs up into the sack, but why? You've got double team here. You've got a pass rusher completely thrown out of the play. And then you have 2 one-on-one blocks here that are holding. You have a wide open pocket to stand in and wait. And this is where you can get creative as a quarterback. You could stand in that pocket, move around a little bit, see if these receivers follow you. Maybe someone breaks open, because against these zone defenses, the longer you wait, the longer it takes, or the longer you wait, the more likely you are to have a defensive coverage breakdown and have one of these guys run open into these pockets in the zone. Maybe this receiver runs here, or maybe he bangs this thing to the sideline and you can escape this way and hit him on the go. There are many ways to break this thing down, and just notice like Daniel Jones taking a sack here. Inexcusable, inexplicable. I don't know why he took a sack here because he has all day in a clean pocket and he does have his check down wide open. So take the check down, take those easy yards or stand in the pocket and be a playmaker, but don't just run up into a sack for no good reason. These are the plays that kill drives for the New York Giants, right? Because it ends up being a sack of maybe a 1-yard loss, no gain, no loss, whatever. But it's a dead down. Like you're wasting a play here when you have chunk yardage in the flat to your running back that you can be picking up. That's an easy 3 to 5 yards. And honestly, it's one-on-one. If he breaks his tackle, he's running up the sideline. He's got a cornerback and a safety. I mean, who knows? Who knows what that play can turn into? But you can't take a sack in this situation. This happens far too often for Daniel Jones, and it adds more context to yesterday's episode when we were talking about the offensive line playing well, but Jones still taking sacks. Here's a prime example of a sack that just never should have happened. All right, moving ahead to this next play, and this is one that I actually discussed on Twitter and did a quick film breakdown of it, picture film breakdown on my Twitter account. Go follow me if you're not already. I do breakdowns here, I do breakdowns there. I'm breaking down everything for you guys, but this is a play that got a lot of criticism on Twitter. People were saying this was a bad, unimaginative play call. Now, if you watch the play, it's a screen pass to Neighbors. He ends up dropping it, but he's got a man in his face. He's not open. He's not going anywhere on this play regardless unless he turns into the Hulk and breaks through a linebacker, right? You don't like that. And a lot of people looked at this and were like, what is this screen call play? Like, this is a terrible play call. And then I said, okay, guys, this is not bad play design nor bad play calling. I think we're all just misunderstanding what the play design is. So obviously you have Neighbors coming in motion, and he's basically going to run a bubble screen here. What you have here from the blocking scheme, this guy doesn't get picked up. He's not supposed to. Slayton's in the slot here, and he's going to run and block this safety. That's second-level blocking, and you're going to get Wan'Dale Robinson blocking on the outside. The reason that these guys are blocking and not running a slant or running any routes, it's not because they're running this play-action bubble screen. It's because it's an RPO, and on RPOs, the ball has to come out of your hands quick or it has to be handed off. RPO means run and pass option. So when people are saying that this is a bad play design or bad play call and Neighbors never had a chance here, that's simply not the case because this ball never should have gone to Neighbors. Run pass option, Daniel Jones has the choice to hand this thing off to Devin Singletary, and there is a hole here for him to run into. He makes the wrong choice on this run pass option. He can throw or he can hand it off. The choice here, the correct option was to hand it off because this linebacker was biting down on this Neighbors throw. He was ready to take it away. Daniel Jones should be staring down this linebacker and reading, is he crashing or is he staying put? If he stays put, that means Neighbors is covered. But if he were to have crashed here, let's say that this linebacker, the play begins right here and he starts running in after Singletary, okay, boom. Now you pull that thing out of Singletary's chest, you flip it out here to Neighbors in the flat on the bubble screen, and now you have blocking here and you have blocking here. You probably have a touchdown. Like, that's a great play design. People on Twitter were saying, bad play call, bad play design. This is as good as it gets, guys. On an RPO like this, this is what you want to see. It's just the Vikings guarded the pass option. So if this linebacker is sitting here and taking away Neighbors, pass option taken away, you hand it off. Now, I'm going to add more context to this with the second camera angle. Because when you watch this camera angle, this is an RPO here. Again, he has the option to hand it off. There's a linebacker here in the hole, right? But there is a hole. There is an opportunity here for Devin Singletary to take this handoff and pick up at least 3 to 5 yards. Who knows? Maybe he makes the linebacker miss, one-on-one with the safety, bangs it, boom. You never know. But at the very least, you've got 3 to 5 yards here, chunk yardage. What the Giants have here on the blocking for this run option. So you're going to see, and also, I didn't even get to the point here where, look, John Michael Schmitz, you're going to see the center right here. He's going to double team, but then he's quickly going to start getting to the second level. He has to wait, so he can't immediately go to the second level because on a run pass option, you guys ever see when they have the illegal man downfield penalty because somebody's blocking downfield when they're not supposed to be? JMS is waiting here because he knows that if he gets down to the second level too quickly, he'll get flagged for illegal man downfield, blocking downfield. So he waits. He does a little chip here, helps on the double team, but he's actually going to get to the second level and wall off this linebacker if he does his job properly. So it's not even going to be one-on-one in the hole with this linebacker. It's going to end up being one-on-one with the safety. And Singletary is going to have an opportunity to gain not just 3 to 5 yards, but 10 to 15 yards if this ball is handed off. Because what you've got duo, you're double teaming here, and you've got duo, double teaming there. You're letting this linebacker crash in, and people are going to say, oh, that's why he didn't hand it off. But no, you want this linebacker to run in behind Singletary because he's not going to get there. See, Singletary would have the ball in this situation. I know this linebacker is starting to break here, but if I rewind it just a little bit, you'll see Singletary would have the ball here, and this linebacker would have to make a shoestring tackle to try and stop him if this ball was handed off. Not very likely. I like the odds of Singletary bouncing through this hole, John Michael Schmitz walling off this linebacker one-on-one here. So I just wanted to highlight this because, again, people saying Brian Daboll's play calling was bad, and I don't think it was good. I have my problems with the way that Daboll called this game, but this play design, everyone was saying on social media, what bad play design? What is Malik Nabers supposed to do here? This is awful. They're setting up Daniel Jones for failure. This is Daniel Jones botching the play call. This is a run-pass option. He had the choice to hand it off or throw it. He made the wrong choice. He threw the wrong option, and as a result, the Giants left a lot of meat on the bone. They had plenty of yardage for the taking here. They could have handed this off. Singletary has 5 yards at least. They throw it out into the flat. That's not the right choice. It's covered. It's dropped. It's incomplete. Again, another down just completely killed by a wrong choice made by the quarterback, just like the last play I broke down. So I wanted to break that down because, again, this is not a bubble screen off of play action. This is an RPO, handoff, blocking, bubble screen on the motion. This was supposed to be a handoff based on whether or not this linebacker crashes. All you got to do is read the linebacker and you'll get your answer, and you'll be able to make the right play if you read the linebacker properly. Daniel Jones didn't do that, so you get an incompletion rather than a nice handoff on the ground. All right, next up, we're going to break down this red zone interception that Daniel Jones threw. I've got both camera angles here. There's two things in specific that I want to highlight. First and foremost, this ball never should have been thrown, at least not to where it was intended. And I'm going to explain why Daniel Jones made this throw. Looking at the play pre-snap, the Giants they're facing cover zero is what it looks like. This looks like man across the board and a lot of blitzers right here. You're facing basically 7-man pass rush and 4 defensive backs. Cover zero, all-man coverage. You know that with this receiver, I think it's Slayton running basically this seam route up the middle. If you throw this thing properly, back shoulder to one-on-one against Harrison Smith, it's a 50-50 ball. He has a good chance of bringing that one in. So you have to read, though, pre-snap, this is cover zero. There is no safety help. You're just getting blitzed, right? That's what it is pre-snap. But what is it post-snap? And this is where people criticize Daniel Jones' processing. Can he diagnose a play pre-snap and then process it post-snap? On this play, he doesn't. He gets baited into this interception. He gets tricked by Brian Flores, Vikings defensive coordinator, and he throws an interception because let's watch when the ball is snapped. Is this a cover zero? No, this is not a cover zero. In fact, this is a 3-man pass rush. You got 1, 2, 3 with a quarterback spy. And what you really have here is a cover 2 invert, where that linebacker is going to drop right into the deep middle of this field, which, guys, is exactly where Daniel Jones threw this ball. He shouldn't have thrown it there, but he's going to drop right into this deep middle. Harrison Smith's job is to cover the deep half. This safety's job is to cover the deep half. This DB is covering the flat, hook zone. That's the coverage. Cover 2, invert defense there. That's what it is post-snap. Daniel Jones needs to read it pre-snap as cover 0, read it post-snap after he sees these pass rushers bail. No, it's a 3-man rush. You have all day in the pocket. You can scramble around. You can make a play. Got to recognize here, this is cover 2. You got 2 deep safeties. So what does that mean? You've got time in the pocket, and it's not cover 0. Let's adjust. Now, let's back it up and see what the Giants are doing here. What is their play call? So they know, again, it's looking like cover 0. They're blocking an extra man here, so they've only got 4 receivers out on the play. It's a smart move. It's what they should be doing. Here's what they have. They've got fader out here by the running back who's split out wide, pretty much just to pull this cornerback out of the play. Like I said, a seam route here from Slayton. I like that. And then right here, they have a 2-man route combo that I love. This is a staple route combo. Everybody knows this one. It's called scissors. You're going to get a deep post or a skinny post here, rather, from Malik Nabers, and you're going to get Wan'Dale Robinson in the slot running a corner route. What this does is it puts pressure on this safety to make a choice. This safety has to choose. am I going to take this away? Am I going to take away that post on the inside? Or am I going to take away this corner? Now, if he's running with the corner route and he's going this way, and you've got the safety being pulled out, what does that do? Green light, neighbors, middle of the field, touchdown. Now, what if he goes with this post route? What if he takes away Malik Neighbors? Okay, well, then that's going to leave a window here where, yes, this guy is here, but if you put enough air on that ball into the back of the end zone or right on that sideline, Wan'Dale Robinson will be open for a touchdown. So the Giants are working this perfectly. You actually love this play call against cover two. It's exactly what you want. It's going to create a window here, and it's going to create a window here where it's going to make this safety have to choose. Am I going here or am I going there? So now if we roll this clip through and you take a look, all right, let's see. Where did the safety decide to go? The safety looks like he is going here, and you've got this here. So to me, this is wide open. If Daniel Jones stays in the pocket, waits, this is his first read. I understand Slayton is read 1, but that's read 1 against cover 0. That's what it is in his head because he didn't diagnose it was cover 2 post snap. So he's throwing this thing like it's a 50-50 back shoulder in the end zone against cover 0, but it's not. It's not one-on-one man coverage. This is actually triple teamed. This is completely taken away. You cannot throw this ball no matter what. And I'm going to get to the second camera angle where I explain that even further. But now you have 2-on-1 here. You've got this and you've got this. You have 2 receivers running after this one safety. If he were to have stood in this very clean pocket a little longer and just gone through his progressions, like, okay, this, not throwing that. Now let's look to the left side of the field. Oh, this safety has pressure on him. All right, let me pick. Am I going here? Am I going there? Boom, touchdown. You got to go through your reads and your progressions as a quarterback. Daniel Jones doesn't do that. You can say he predetermined this throw. That's how I would describe this. I think pre-snap, he saw a cover 0 look, and he just decided, I'm throwing this thing up the seam and giving Slayton a chance. But really, look at this screenshot right here. I mean, you've got somebody breaking off into the end zone. This should have been a touchdown, and instead it ends up being an interception. And again, rolling through to this clip, I've seen a lot of people on the internet screenshot right here and say, wow, if Daniel Jones puts this one here, he just made a bad throw. Right read, bad throw, right? That's what people online are saying. If he puts this right here, that could be a touchdown. He ends up throwing it here. Okay, no. So he throws it here because he misread the coverage. First of all, misread. Throws it there because he's trying to throw a back shoulder 50-50 ball to Slayton, right? That's why he throws it that way. But if he throws it this way, let's say it's right down this hash marker to the T, that's also not getting completed because of this linebacker. This is a cover 2 invert, like I said. So you had this guy bail, and now he's roaming in the middle of the field. Look at where his eyes are. He sees the wide receiver banging inside. He's running there. So if you just roll this through and you'll watch this play out, this linebacker makes it to the T. He's there. He's going to pick this off if this ball is thrown right here. It's probably getting picked, at the very least broken up on 4th down, so count it as whatever you want. This is never getting open. This was just the bad read, the wrong decision. And like I said, it's a 3-man rush. This pocket is as clean as it can be. He has all day. He can look to the left side, make that throw to Wan'Dale. This should have been a touchdown, but again, pre-snap processing, post-snap processing, 2 different things. The Vikings, they disguised their coverage here. They tricked Daniel Jones, baited him into this interception. Never should have been a pick. Should have been a touchdown. All right, I said that I was going to look at both of the good and the bad. Guys, there wasn't a ton of good on this film, but I do want to highlight every now and then when I can when Daniel Jones made a good throw. I don't want to be all doom and gloom on this channel. Now, what you're getting here, seam route to Theo Johnson, 18-yard pickup against a cover 2. Again, this is going to be pre-snap and post-snap diagnosing, though, because what does this look like? This looks like you've got one safety in the middle of the field, single high, so you're probably expecting some sort of cover 3 or maybe a cover 1, right? That's what you're expecting. You're expecting middle field is closed. Okay, so what do we actually get here, though? Post-snap. Okay, look at that. Daniel Jones actually had his eyes on Harrison Smith here. He can see Harrison Smith retreating. Now he knows, oh, this is actually cover 2. You've got 2 safeties deep, and that usually creates an opening in the middle of the field against the Tampa 2 defense, because you're going to see flat, flat, you're going to see hook, you're going to see this guy go here, and you're going to see this guy try and roam the middle against a 4-man rush. So let's roll this through. Play starts. Like I said, against a cover 2, you can often hit right here, or if you get this ball out quick enough, because of this linebacker being one-on-one and having so much ground to cover, you can hit this little seam route right here. And Daniel Jones actually reads this properly post-snap, makes the right throw, and gets an 18-yard completion to Theo Johnson. A really good throw, by the way. So, strong arm throw. So this is why we get so frustrated with Daniel Jones, because last play I just broke down, there's a pre-snap look of cover 0. It turned into a cover 2 invert. He didn't read it post-snap, throws an interception. This play, it looks like cover 3 or cover 1, single high safety, middle field closed look before the ball is snapped. Ball is snapped, safety retreats. It's actually cover 2. Middle of the field is open. You throw it to the middle of the field, completion. This is why he's such a frustrating quarterback, because he's so inconsistent. Some plays he reads it right. Other plays he reads it completely wrong, throws an interception, and kills a drive and kills the game for the Giants. But then he has plays like this on his film. We're like, okay, that's right. Why can't we get plays like this consistently, though? It's the lack of consistency that makes Daniel Jones a bad quarterback. It's not the lack of ability, because the ability is there. He makes reads like this. He makes throws like this. It's a really good throw. And again, strong arm throw. It's very accurate, right up the seam to Theo Johnson. The Giants, they're trying to create something downfield. Honestly, they've got a few players who are probably going to end up open on this play. This is a really good play design against cover 2, because what you're going to end up with against this cover 2 is one-on-one down the boundary for a hole shot. I believe it was Wandale running down the seam, and then it seemed like it was going to be something like that to kind of open things up there for him. They kind of ran into each other. I think they might have had a miscommunication. But either way, you had the seam route. You know it's cover 2. You like to hit the seams on cover 3 even. But against cover 2 here, you know that you have a good opportunity to take advantage of a slower linebacker and fit that one in there. It's a really good throw. Again, there wasn't a ton of great stuff on Daniel Jones' film in week 1. But this is one of those plays that you can point to and say, hey, if you could do this more often, you can make some decent plays with this offense. Just got to be more consistent. All right, one last play here. I want to end it on a high note. This was the play of the day for Daniel Jones, easily his best throw of the game. Let's break it down. It's that deep pass to the left side to Malik Neighbors. What happened here? How did he create such a great play? Let's go ahead and discuss it. So let's see pre-snap what you're going to see. This video didn't show the whole thing, but you can see at the top of your screen, that's actually pre-snap motion with Malik Neighbors, and he was shadowed. Somebody came across the formation and guarded him. What does that tell Daniel Jones? Well, this is man coverage. So you got man coverage with 2 deep safeties. What you are expecting is cover 2 man right across the board, man, man, and man right there as well, and linebacker manning the running back. So against man coverage, you want somebody to break open. Basically, it's receiver talent versus cornerback talent. That's what you need to see. The Giants here on their end are running a dagger concept, which is where this slot receiver is going to run right up the seam and clear out this deep in for the wide receiver. The point of this deep seam route or go route from the slot basically is to take this safety out of the play. He's going to make it so that when Neighbors runs this deep in route, the safety can't crash down on it. He's going to be basically a buffer here so that the safety can't crash down and pick this off. And what Daniel Jones is going to do here is throw the dig route. Again, you've got this safety now preoccupied. He had to, because the slot receiver is running this go route, you can see how far away this safety has backpedaled. He had to really start moving back, which is going to create an opening in this middle of the field. Daniel Jones reads this perfectly. His eyes are on the safety. He's saying, okay, the safety has backed off now because of that deep seam route. So I know that this open window is going to be there for me. So I'm just going to take this thing and fire it in. However, this is pretty good man coverage, right? You can see where if this ball is thrown maybe a little bit under or a little bit behind, you've got a really good opportunity for this cornerback to get his hand on the ball. So what do you have to do? Like, you got to layer this thing. You got to put it up high. You got to put it over the cornerback. You got to put it where only Malik Neighbors can get it. And you have to know that this safety, because you don't have any routes on this side of the field, might be helping out. So you got to get this ball out of your hands quickly. You can't wait for him to break across the formation and now throw it. Harrison Smith is going to break down on that. You got to get it out on the break, and you got to put it up high where this cornerback can't get it. So what does he do? Exactly that. It's a great throw. And I know it kind of looks like it's in double coverage here, but it's really not. It just kind of gets jumbled up that way because that cornerback really got beat badly by this go route. So he's kind of standing in the area where that throw is going, but he's not part of the play. He has no idea that this ball is coming. He's not playing his zone. He's just gotten beat, and he knows that his safety has his help over top. So he's now passing this route along to the safety. Safety's now going to man up on it, and he's going to find a zone to sit down in. But the ball's already out of the hands. It's a really good throw, like I said, because if you're looking out of the break of this dig route, the cornerback, like I said, I'm pretty sure it's Stephon Gilmore, perfect man coverage. He's one of the best man cover corners in the NFL. He has this thing completely covered unless you throw it over him. And you got to throw it over him in this case because you know that this safety is back deep trying to guard this route. So if you throw it up high and you let Neighbors make a play, he'll make the freaking play. And that's what we need to see more of. That is the number one thing that we need to take away from this with Daniel Jones. There were opportunities on this film where he could have processed something better. He could have made the right choice or an option on an RPO or in the red zone against a different coverage scheme than what he anticipated. But the number one thing here is he has a playmaker now. He has Malik Neighbors. You just have to put that ball. I mean, look at this. He's like double clutching his hands, adjusting midair. The body control is spectacular. The route running is great to get over the top of the cornerback and stack him. You got to throw the ball up there sometimes. You just have to let your receiver make the play. And on this play, Daniel Jones does exactly that. He's got a clean pocket. There's nobody around him. Throws the ball against this cover two man. Boom. Big 25-yard gain. But we need to see it more. We need more consistency from Daniel Jones, and we need him to read the field better because you can't post-process this cover two on the last play or notice that's man coverage pre-snap on this one. You can't just always rely on your pre-snap reads. You got to read it post-snap, and you got to do it consistently, and you got to make the right choices on those options. So this film was a mess, like I said. There was a lot to break down. I broke down as much of it as I could, and listen, this is only 5 plays. He threw 40-something passing attempts. If you guys want to see me dive back in and look at more of them, let me know down below. But I thought this was a really good exercise to just kind of look at some of these plays where Jones left a lot of meat on the bone or maybe made some good throws. And it's like, why can't we see these more often? Just be more consistent, and we might get some decent plays. We might get some decent points on the board. But the lack of consistency and the lack of an ability to do a lot of this post-snap processing has severely held the Giants offense back for years, but it really reared its ugly head in week 1. And if there's not significant changes or adjustments made in week 2, yeah, this season could get out of hand and this slope can get really slippery. But anyway, those are about 5 plays that I wanted to break down. I thought they highlighted different aspects of Daniel Jones where he's doing things well, where he's really struggling against lack of pressure and against disguised coverages. I thought it was just a good mix of plays to kind of highlight individual things in Daniel Jones's game that I've noticed. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know down below. And I'm going to do another breakdown this week on Andrew Phillips because he had a great performance in week 1. And guys, anybody else you want me to break down? I'm all ears, man. I'm always in the comment section. I'm always lurking. I'm looking for the feedback. Just let me know down below in the comment section who you want me to break down next. But that's my breakdown on Daniel Jones in week 1. Let's hope that the week 2 breakdown of Daniel Jones is a lot more positive. Who knows? We'll see. But make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this episode. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Ring the bell so you don't miss an episode. And comment your thoughts down below in the comment section. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, make sure to leave us a 5-star review. Go ahead and follow us on all of our social media channels at Fireside Giants. Without further ado, catch you all on the next one. Have a good one. And let's go Giants.
Perfect.